Tonight, two contestants will transform themselves into superheroes. Their challenge to clear a room of lethal gas, rescue the hostages within, and evacuate the building before the Evil Nemesis poisons them with their deadly toxin. Join us as our contenders begin their journey from zero to hero. This is the place where superheroes are made. Each week, two comic book fans compete to develop an extraordinary power and take on the kind of mission usually left to legends. Though they must face the ultimate challenge alone, they are allowed help in their preparation. Each fan has two loyal friends whose additional skills may well determine if they succeed or fail in their challenge. The journey starts down here. This warehouse is packed with the junk you find in everyday life. Our team's job is to sift through it and, using sound scientific principles and the full force of their creative intelligence, build something extraordinary. As always, they're helped by two super engineers to build their superpower. Jem is in the green work zone and Geraint is in the red work zone. But this show is not just about engineering. Our challengers also need to come up with a look and a name, and that's when our superhero makeover team, Staz and Venetia, step in. Now, our teams have just one day to construct their superhero. So who thinks they're courageous enough to take on such a challenge? Let's meet our first potential superhero.
Craig Pemberton. I'm an electrician from Mansfield. I'm also a bouncer. In my spare time, I'm a mad poet, author, and I've also invented an air removal system with none than the mess of shaving.
Craig's trusty sidekicks are fellow bouncers Griff and Carl. Man, you guys are tiny. You really should get to the gym more often, you know? Yeah. All right, now Craig, you're a big comic book fan. Who's your favorite character?
I like Judge Death.
Judge Death?
Yeah.
Happy kind of guy, is he?
He's just total psychotic.
All right, who are your team?
Right, this is Griff. He's a stunt double for Shrek. And basically this is Carl, and he's just lost his job. He's now got a job on a ghost train scaring people.
Do you think you're going to beat the other team tonight?
No. Yeah, there's no thought in it at all.
We know.
We know.
You know. Well, it's time to meet the other team.
My name's Seth Jackson, I'm 31 years old. I'm a self-employed craftsman from South London. I'd make a really good superhero because I'm wild, extreme, and I'm definitely not afraid of lycra.
Seth is joined by his mate Chill and his brother Clint. Now, Seth, you're already a superhero. Who do you most relate to?
To be honest, I reckon it'd have to be Johnny Storm.
Why is that?
Well, apart from the natural flair, you know, he's a bit of a wild cracker, and I'd say I'm much like that myself, really.
You confident you're going to win?
I reckon we have got what it takes.
All right, introduce me to your team.
All right, over here we got Chill, first of all, and then we've got my younger brother, Clinton. Both of them know how I work, and they've worked with me, so we're just like a perfect little machine.
It's time to find out the details of tonight's challenge. You must rescue two hostages held captive in a room filling with poisonous gas. Not only must you clear this chamber of poison, but extra toxins are being pumped in by the Evil Nemesis. Time is against you. This gas will poison the hostages if you cannot control it quickly enough. The reality is that the gas is green smoke, and the challengers must filter the green dye out of it to clear the chamber. In order to succeed, there are two key things you need to think about. One, a means of collecting the poisonous gas. Two, a means of filtering the gas and removing its toxic properties. Each team gets two expert engineers to help you build the machinery you need for the challenge. Craig is in the green work zone with engineer Jem.
Right, lads. How you doing?
I'm Jem.
Craig.
Craig.
I'm Griff.
Griff.
And Carl.
Carl.
Right.
Nice to meet you all.
Sess is working with engineer Geraint in the red work zone.
How you doing?
You find out what we're going to do?
Well, yeah, we've got a little idea, you know, but...
Both teams are given a clue they must use as a starting point to build their superpower capable of clearing a chamber of toxic gas.
It's a hairdryer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised you knew what it was.
It was here before we started.
Yeah. It's for the hairs on my back.
What have you got then? It's a fan. All right. I think probably the best thing to do now is to take a stroll over the board, and we'll have a bit of a think and a bit of a chat about what solutions we can come up with.
The challenge, we've got to get a means of collecting the poisonous gas.
They both have half an hour to plan what device they're going to build and work out what materials they'll need to make it.
Filtering this to remove its toxic properties.
Well, what I'm thinking, if I just...
Yeah, go on, talk. You come on, you're the superhero.
Well, basically, what I'm thinking is if we could have, like, 2 fans, right, with, at the front to suck right in, wherever ducting, some kind of piping.
Yeah.
A filter kind of gauze in the middle behind the fan.
So we've got...
Yeah, so as it sucks the air in, filters it through, blows it back out.
Having decided they'll need one big fan, the red team work out what they can use to filter the smoke.
I'm just trying to think what sort of materials might do.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something like J-cloth, you know, that sort of material.
Yeah, sort of that sort of cloth that's sort of permeable cloth that you can breathe through.
Geraint also wants to use oil in the filter. The smoke particles will stick to the oil and be taken out of the air.
Have you seen filters on a lawnmower?
Yes.
Have you noticed that they're not dry?
Yeah.
They dunk them in oil. And the particles, as they go through, it just sticks.
Right, you've got an hairdryer, right?
Yeah.
So that's your hairdryer.
It seems both teams are planning on clearing the smoke from the chamber of poison using the same basic principles. Sucking the smoke-filled air in, filtering out the smoke, and then blowing the clean air back out, which will result in clearing the air in the chamber. Jem has the idea of using lots of hairdryers together.
If one hairdryer's all right, but it doesn't shift enough air, then 10 hairdryers will be really good.
The team are thinking of using water as their filter.
If you were to spray water through the smoke, it absorbs the smoke as it goes through. The smoke gets like bound to the water. And maybe there's a way of doing it like that as well.
So you've got hand pumps, so we want some kind of filtration to go on that.
Yeah.
The teams make a list of everyday household items they can potentially scavenge to make their superpower. The green team's essential items include hair dryers, ducting, which they reckon they might find in some old kitchen appliances, and a water sprayer.
Anyway, you could always have a good look round and see if there's any brain cells for your pair as well.
Could do, yeah. Whatever size we can.
The red team's essential items include one big extractor fan, olive oil, and hosing. They have just 30 minutes to scavenge everything they're going to need. Choose wisely. Your future as a superhero depends on it.
Let's go, come on! Fans!
Craig, I've got a spray nozzle. Hey? I've got a spray nozzle.
While the team scavenge, they're allowed no help from Jem and Geraint. I'm a bit dubious, personally. Hairdryer into hero. Talk to me, how does that work?
Well, all they're going to need to do to get rid of this smoke is they're going to need a system of pulling the smoke into a filtration unit and then pushing the clean air back out the other side.
How about point 2, filtering?
Well, the way I see it is if this is thick, acrid smoke, it's going to be made up of teeny little smoke particles. And if we can get those smoke particles funneled through a mist of water, like water droplets coming in, then they're going to get absorbed by the water droplets, stick to the water droplets and disappear out of the air.
All right, Geraint, you've got a little fan. How are you going to turn that into a superpower?
Well, we're going to get a bigger fan. So we're going for big fans, generating lots of flow, bit of pressure, and get it through a filter membrane.
Tell you what, I can't find a fan, but I found all right stereo.
Bottom line, which is the better system? A bunch of small fans or a big fan? Jem.
Our guy is naturally big and strong. And on a challenge like this, you want to clear that smoke as quickly as possible. So the more you can strap onto him in the way of extraction units, the more you can extract. And our guy, I don't know what his lifting capability is, but it's obviously a lot.
A lot?
I'm good. Behave yourself, will you?
Can't wait then.
Hey, hang on, bring top.
Good, that's it.
No, hang on, is it?
Teletubby.
Bring top for that, look, is a Dalek.
Geraint, what do you think?
I'm confident as ever. I think Jem's solution, while it might be nice, the idea of 150 hairdryers strapped on the side of this man mountain, brute force in the technology will beat brute force in the superhero.